In this session, we will have brief review on second unit. So first, we will see what are the different topics we have to discuss. So as per the syllabus, in this second unit, we will discuss basic control actions, characteristics of different discontinuous and continuous control modes, and problems, and different types of controllers. That is realization of controllers using pneumatic, hydronic, and electronic components. So we will have some brief discussion on the types of controllers depending upon their action and depending upon their mode. Okay, so as already in the last session, or that is in the first unit, we have discussed about the block diagram of process control instrumentation, where we have discussed the function of each and every element of this block diagram. So in this unit, we are going to concentrate on only this part, that is called as controller part. The entire unit, the controller principles and controller modes. So we are going to concentrate on this controller part. So this controller is a device which produces an output signal. Depending upon the error produced, it produces a controller signal, output signal. That output indicates the type of action to be taken by the final control element in order to bring the control variable to the desired set point value. So only the main function of this controller is just takes the error, which is the difference between the set point and present value of control variable, and depending upon the deviation, it produces an output signal. That signal indicates the type of action to be taken by the final control element. Okay, so as per this, what are the inputs to the controllers? So what are the parameters? We are having the input for the controller, and then what are the type of action of this controller, so that we will see. After that, we will go for the types of controllers. So the inputs to the controller are measured indication of both control variable as set point, that is E equal to R minus B, and depending upon this error, it produces the output. So the output is defined by a letter called P. So that is control output, which is given to the final control element. Okay, generally this error is represented as error as percent of span. So we will see what is the indication. So actually, generally there is absolute error E equal to R minus B, where R is the set point of the variable, B is the measured indication of the variable. So sometimes in terms of measured variable, the measured value of variable can be expressed as a percent of span over range of measurement given by the equation Cp equal to C minus C minimum divided by C max minus C minimum into 100. What is this C max minus C minimum? That is the span. So but C is the present control variable and C minimum is the minimum measured variable. So C max is the maximum measured variable. So generally our main concentration is on error, where that is given as error as percent of span, EP equal to R minus B by B max minus B minimum into 100, where again EP is the error expressed as percent of span, B is the present measured variable, and B max minus B minimum is the span, that is the range of the particular measured indication of control variable. So generally a controller takes this EP as input and produces P as the control output. So that means it takes input as EP, output is P, controlled output. So now as per our unit syllabus, we will see what different types of modes of the controller and what type of output it is going to produce, and what type of action. Depending upon the action, the controller action is divided into two types, reverse and direct action. Generally the error, which may be R minus B, that may be positive or negative, because the present value may be greater or less than the set point value. So how this polarity of error changes the control output can be selected according to the nature of process. Generally, if you see a level control system, just see one example. Okay, for example, in this case, assume that here my aim is, for at this case, at this moment, actually it is a temperature controller, but assume that my aim is to control the level of this particular tank where the input flow rate is QA, output flow rate is QB. If I am going to control the level of this particular tank by varying the output flow rate, that is the output flow rate QB as the manipulated variable, what happens, we'll see. So just a controller operates with direct action when an increasing value of control variable causes an increasing value of controller output. Simple. Direct action means it is a controller with direct action when an increasing value of control variable causes an increasing value of control output. For example, in this case, if we are going to control the level by using this output flow rate, what happens? For example, my present level is some 50%, desired level is, presently it is more than this one, that is control variable is increased above the set point. So how we have to control this level? Just by increasing the output flow rate. If you are go on increasing the output flow rate, then only the level is decreased to your set point. That means if you are going to control the level by varying or by selecting the manipulated variable as output flow rate, then that is called a direct action type controller. Here I am having some sensor, here you may have some controller. So here actually I don't have a figure. Here you may have controller and actuator control valve. So as the level increases over the set point, that means control variable increases. So you can reduce that control variable, you can control that level to your desired value by increasing this one. That means increase in control variable causes increase in manipulated variable. So that is called as direct action type. So once again, see here, a controller operates with direct action when an increasing value of control variable causes an increasing value of control output. An example would be a level control system that produces a signal to an output. Here you may have some controller that produces the output to the produces signal to the control output control valve. Say in a similar case, in the same way, if this level is controlled, here I have selected the input flow rate as the manipulated variable. Input flow rate as the manipulated variable. Then what happens? If the level of the tank is increases above set point, what you have to do? You have to decrease the input flow rate. By decreasing the input flow rate, then only your control variable bringing back to set point. That means an increasing value of control variable causes decrease in control output. So that is called as reverse action. That is called as reverse action. So it is the opposite case where an increase in control variable causes a decrease in controller output. An example of this would be normal simple temperature control kavachchu, ledante if it is a level control system where the valve should be open and closed, that is signal output signal to a input valve. Okay, so this is about the reverse action. So this type of action can be taken depend upon the type of process, nature of the process. So there is another mode, there is another classification, that is depending upon the mode of controller, whether the output of the controller is discontinuous changes or continuous changes. They are classified into discontinuous controller modes and continuous controller modes. Generally, if you see a normal room temperature control, if the temperature is above the set point, then you may, the air conditioner may turn on. If the temperature is below set point, that will be turned off. There are only two actions, on or off action. Or generally you are having some thermostatic controller. When the temperature is above that one, it can turn off the heater. If the temperature is below the set point, it can turn off the heater. So there is only two actions. Those are called as discontinuous. Whereas if you go for another example, say okay, otherwise take this example. Here we are having some inflow of the water QA with some inlet temperature T0, outflow of the water with QB, and this level of the tank, and it is having some ambient temperature TA, and here this water or liquid in this tank can be heated or boiled by using some steam flow through these pipes. So there the steam flow is nothing but Qs and temperature of steam is Ts, and that control, the flow rate will be controlled by this control valve. Here my aim is to control the level of this temperature of this liquid, that is TL. So that is measured and that is compared to the set point. The controller will provide some output signal such that it may smoothly varies the flow rate. So if you observe this one, in this case sudden complete closing of the control valve and sudden complete opening of the control valve is not possible. So we have to vary the control valve, maybe some 10%, 20% or 15% like that. We have to smoothly vary depending upon the liquid temperature. So at that time discontinuous controller may not be used. So for that type of controller mode is called as continuous controller mode. So as per this analysis, the controllers are two types. Those are discontinuous controller mode and continuous controller modes. So first we will go for the discontinuous controller modes. So here again we are having the three types. Those are two position control mode, multi position control mode and floating control mode. So here as the name itself implies, two position means the control output is having only two positions, either on or off or maximum or minimum. Then those type of controllers are called as two position control mode, or it is also called as on off controller mode. The control output is 0% when error is less than 0, EP is less than 0, or when error is greater than 0, 100%. There are only two cases, less than 0, 0%, greater than 0, 100%. Just the examples are normal heater. So say assume that this is a set point with respect to time. Our set point is this dotted lines. So this variation is the control variable. If this control variable is above the set point, so up till now the temperature is less than set point, the heater is on. So when this is becoming more than that one, that becomes off. Actually ikkada off kavali, just but take some lag, process lag will be taken. So when the temperature becomes less than set point, above the set point, the temperature will be, heater will be turned off. And again it will go on continuous cycling process. So you are having only on position and off position. So these are called as on off controller. So here also observe. So this is for theoretical. When the error is or the control variable is more than the set point, the output becomes 0, that is off position. When it is less than set point, that means error is more than 0, that is EP is greater than 0, it is 100%, that is on position. And again it is off and on. So this is called as two position controller mode. But if you observe this characteristics with respect to error and control output, so generally in the case of error equal to 0, it has to change its position from either 0 to 100% or 100 to 0. But it takes some minimum value during which no control output changes. So that range, the range of error during which no control output changes is called as some neutral zone, or it is also called as differential gap. Say if I am going to control the level of the particular tank to 50 centimeters, and when the level is above 50 centimeter, maybe it is controlled by input flow rate. Whenever it is more than 50, the input flow rate is completely turned off. But ఈ యాక్షన్ జరిగే లోపే ఏమవుతుంది, ఇట్ మే గో ఫర్ సమ్ అప్ టు 52. సో దట్ 52 minus 50, that is 2, that is plus 2 is the error. And if the error is, if the control level is below that one, maybe 49, the input flow rate is turned on, but all open, that is 48 వెళ్తుంది. So that 48 is minus 2 to plus 2. These are called as having some range called as 48 centimeter to 50 centimeter, 52 centimeter. So this error range is called as neutral zone, the range of error during which no control output changes. See, observe that 0 as go on increasing above 0, when it becomes plus delta EP, the control output becomes from 0 to 100%. When again as it is changing the 100%, the error is becoming negative. When it is reaches to minus delta EP, it becomes 0. So this win ఈ రేంజ్లో మాత్రం there is no change in error. Up to minus delta EP to plus delta EP, it is either 0% or 100%. So this error is called as differential gap or neutral zone. So because of this neutral zone or differential gap, only this oscillations will be produces. So actually it has to maintain the set point, but it is produce some oscillations, so which are undesired. So in order to avoid this oscillations to some extent, we are going for next state, that is called as multi-position control mode, where it is simply a logical extension of this two position. We can have some another intermediate position. Maybe first we'll go for some only three position. So in the previous case only we are having the either 0% or 100%. So in this case, when the error is in between minus less than E1, then output is 0%. When the error is between this minus E1 and plus E2, the output may have some another 50%. This is extra one. In the previous case only we are having 0 and 100, but here we are having some 50%. If the error is above E2, then 100%. So if you observe this one, it is having three position. In the previous case only 0 and 100, but we are having extra. So that is three position. In the similar way, we are having some ranges. After that, we can have some multi position also. But as per syllabus, it is enough to discuss about up to three position. Say, we will see some random variation of error between the two errors and what is the control we can observe. So if you observe this one, up till some time, up till this point, the error is in between the minus E1 and plus E2. As per this one, as error is between minus E1 plus E2, what is the control output? 50%. So the control output is 50%. When error is more than E2, the control output is 100%, then that is 100%. And again, up till this time, it is in between this E1 and E2, 50%. If it is below this minus E1, it goes to 0%. So actually it has to be a straight line, but we are having some delay. So some amount of time is taken to respond by the process as well as controller. So that is called a delay. So small delay is there. This is called small delay. So this is called a multi-position. So but it requires some more complicated final controlment, whereas in the previous case, a simple final controlment that may turn on the heater, turn off the heater. Say a simple relay is enough. That is used to turn on, turn off the heater. But in the case of this, you should have some another level 50%. Say I will give a simple example. So in our generally in houses we are having the fan regulator or ceiling fan. Just if your regulator is failed, they are having only two positions. That is off position or on position. So we may get some completely off position. We may have some completely fully on position. You may get the more air, more wind. Whereas if you are observing that you are having some what you call as a regulator which is having some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. Say the 5 is the 100%, 0 is the 0%. When you are going to change the regulator position to 1, that may be 20% output. Next 2 means 40%, 3 means 60, 4, 80. Like that, it is having some multi positions. Whereas nowadays we are also having some continuous regulators, where that is called a continuous controller mode. Continuous controller mode. So that is multi-position controller mode. Okay. So in this, by observing these two modes, as the error changes, the control output changes. That may be discontinuously to 0 to 100 or maybe 0 to 50, 20, 40, 68 like that. It is going on changing. That's why it is called as two position and multi-position control mode. There is another type of discontinuous control mode that is called floating control mode. In the previous two modes, the output was uniquely determined by the magnitude of error input only. That means if the error exceeds some preset limit, that is minus E1 plus E2, the output was changed to a new setting as quickly as possible. That is from 0 to 50% or 50 to 100%. if it is in the case of 3 position. But whereas in this control mode, that is floating control mode, the specific output of controller is not uniquely determined by the error. It is not only determined by the error, it is also depending upon some other parameter that we'll see. If the error is 0, the output does not change but remains whatever setting it was when the error went to 0. Floats means remains. The name itself, floating control mode. When the error is nearer to 0 or error is 0, the output will not change. It maintains whatever setting it was when the error went to 0. When the error moves off 0, the control output begins to change. That may increase or decrease. Error change ayinappudu the control outputs try to change at some rate. Actually, as with 2 position mode, there is typical neutral zone around 0 error when no change in control action occurs. So now we'll see floating control. Again, we are having single speed and multi speed. In single speed floating control mode, the output of the control element changes at a fixed rate. Here, the rate of change of control output, that's what we call as fixed rate, that is some kf. When the error changing some range, exceeding some range of error, that is called a neutral zone, where this dp by dt equal to rate of change of controller output with time. Kf is the constant and delta ep is the neutral zone, of neutral zone. Delta ep plus 2 delta ep nothing but neutral zone. So here if you observe, if there is error is 0, this becomes 0. dp by dt equal to 0. That means rate of change of control output is 0. That means control output is becoming constant. It was remains whatever it was setting when the error went to 0. Error 0 వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏ వాల్యూ ఉందో అక్కడే ఫ్లోట్ అవుతుంది. When error is some value, then it may change with a constant rate kf. So if you integrate this equation, we are getting the equation as p equal to plus or minus kft plus p of 0. This p of 0 is control output at t equal to 0. Here I am not going to discuss about the complete problems. Already we have discussed. Here, this is the only revision. That's why I am going for a brief discussion only. So if you observe this floating controller mode, if the error is 0, almost you can say that this neutral zone lo 0 ani assume cheskuntam. About to 0, then the rate of change dp by dt equal to 0. dp by dt equal to 0 is nothing but control output is constant. When it is exceeding this one, so once observe multi position or 3 position lo, this y axis control output p. Their control output is p, but here y axis dp by dt. That is the difference. 3 position lo, this is error is same, but this is p control output. But in this case, y axis dp by dt. So the dp by dt equal to 0, and as the error is exceeding, it may have some plus k rate. The rate of change is positive, that may increase or decrease depending upon the nature of process, and this is minus k. So if you observe that with respect to time, here if you observe this one up till this time, what is the error? That is almost 0, within the 0 or within the neutral zone. Then the control output is constant, as already I told. When the error is 0, the control output does not change, will not change. It remains whatever it was when the error went to 0. Error 0 వచ్చే ముందు ఏమైతే వాల్యూ ఉందో, previously I am assuming that as p of 0. So that's why it remains, it floats at that value. Now here error is more than that one, then it decreases at a rate of some minus k. So that means it will decrease, and again as it is in the zone, it becomes constant. Observe చేయండి, here it floats at this previous value only. Error 0 వచ్చే ముందు ఏముంది control output, that is some value. So అక్కడ మాత్రమే float అవుతుంది. Again here beyond this one it is increasing, and again it floats at its value, floats at that particular value. So this is about the discontinuous controller modes. So that is only some rate, that is multiple speed. So different ranges, 0 to the constant. When it is more than E1 and less than E2, some K1 rate, above E2, K2 rate. So this one minus K1, minus K2. It is having multiple speeds. Okay. Now we will go for the other important one, is the continuous controller modes. The most common control action used in process control is one or combination of these continuous control modes. In these modes, the output of controller changes smoothly in response to the error or rate of change of error. Whereas in the previous case, the control output changes discontinuously, not smoothly, depending upon the error. But in this case, it is continuous control mode. The control output changes smoothly. So the first one, proportional controller mode. So as we know that the two position mode has the controller output of either 100% or 0% depending upon error, that is either more greater or less than the neutral zone. Next extension is multiple step mode, that is 3 position and multiple. More divisions of control output takes versus error. So if you go on this one, as go on increasing, first 3 position 0, 50, 100. If it is 4 position, maybe 0, 25, 50, 75, 100. If it is more than that one, 10 positions 0, 10, 20, 30, like so on. If it is 90 positions, maybe some more extension. If it is 100 positions, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means the natural extension of this concept is proportional mode, where a smooth linear relationship exists between the control output and error. So as per this one, so we can write control output equation as P equal to KPEP plus P naught. Don't confuse, most of the students confuse that P is nothing but proportional. Don't say this P is nothing but controller output. Don't say that is the proportional. In the case of integral derivative also, the output is mentioned as P only. So this P is nothing but control output, which is given as KPEP plus P naught. So why actually it is, we'll see. So in the proportional control mode, the control output P is proportional to the error. The P is proportional to the error EP. So then the proportional constant is nothing but, we can take it as Kp, then that is equal to P equal to KPEP, where P naught is nothing but some control output when error is 0, that is P naught. So otherwise you're gonna see here only. So simply in this case, the control output is proportional to EP, P is proportional to EP, but if you take that proportional constant, that is KPEP plus P naught, where P naught is the control output with no error. Okay, so Kp is the proportional gain, that is between error and control output. So now if you observe the characteristics, okay, if you observe this one, this is error and this is control output. When error equal to 0, what happens in this, substitute this one, when error equal to 0, what happens, this term becomes 0, KPEP term, EP equal to 0, the P equal to P naught, that is constant one, control output with no error. That's why at this one at 0, otherwise here at control output is error is 0, that is some constant that is equal to 50%. As there is some error, EP is there. For example, EP equal to 1, what happens? 1 Kp plus P naught. If EP equal to 2 Kp plus P naught, that means for every 1% of change in error, that Kp percent is added to this P naught. One is that one, if it is 1, P naught plus Kp. If it is 2, P naught plus 2 Kp. That is, for every 1% of error, this Kp percent is added to this P naught. And if you observe this diagram, as it is go on increasing, whenever it reaches some 100%, that is saturation. Even though the error is go on changing, it's saturated to 100%. Or below which also, it reaches the 0, as go on decreasing from this value, it becomes saturated. So this range, if you observe this one, this point to and this point, that is the range of error. Okay, 1 second. Sorry. The range of error beyond which there is no change in control output, or the control output is saturated. సో ఓన్లీ ఈ రేంజ్లో మాత్రమే కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ ఈజ్ చేంజింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ 0 to 100%, above which the control output is saturated to either 0% or 100%. So that is called as proportional band. The range of error which covers 0 to 100% of its control output is called proportional band. So only during which only it covers 0 to 100%, above which what happened, it is saturated to either 100% or 0%. So that is called as proportional band. If the gain of that one is, as the gain is increasing, the band will decrease. Generally there is relation between is pp equal to 100 by kp. As the gain of that proportional controller is increases, proportional band will becomes less. That is the narrow proportional band avutundi. If the gain is less, it becomes wide band. So if the gain is less, it becomes wide. So already I have explained in the theory classes. So if you observe this one, characteristics from this equation, p equal to kpeb plus p naught. If error equal to 0, that is equal to p naught only. The output is a constant equal to p naught. If there is error, for every 1% of error, a correction of kp is added to or subtracted from this p naught. Depending upon error, if it is plus, kp percent is added to p naught. If it is minus error, that is kp percent of error is subtracted from the p naught. And third one, there is a band of error about 0 of magnitude, proportional band, within which the output is not saturated to 0% or 100%. Just now I told. So this is range of error during which it covers 0 to 100%. It's called a proportional band. Okay. Then there is an important characteristic of this proportional controller mode is offset error. Observe. Just if possible, we'll see this example, a problem. After that I will explain the definition of this one. Here assume that this liquid level is to be controlled by varying the input flow rate. For that, here is having a sensor that measured information is given to the controller, which compares the set point value, and depending upon that provides some output. So that output will change the control output, that is control valve position, according to that the liquid reaches to your set point value. For that, this we'll see small problem. Here what he has given is, here assume that the control valve is linear. Here it is using proportional control mode only. The valve A is linear with a flow scale factor of 10 meter cube per hour per percent control output. First we'll see the problem. The control output is nominally 50% with a constant of kp equal to 10% per percent. A load change occurs when flow through the valve B changes from 500 meter cube per hour to 600 meter cube per hour. Calculate the new control output and offset error. Just you have to assume that what is the flow rate when error equal to 0, and when there is error, what is the flow rate, we'll see. As per this sentence, what is the flow coefficient of this particular control valve? He has given as flow scale factor 10 meter cube per hour per percent control output. అంటే 1% ఆఫ్ కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ ఉంటే ఒక 10 మీటర్ క్యూబ్ పర్ అవర్ ఉంటుంది. ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నాడు, ఇనిషియల్లీ దిస్ ఇస్ ద లోడ్ వేరియబుల్. A load change occurred when flow through the valve B changes from 500 meter per hour to 600 meter per hour. నార్మల్గా ఏమన్నాడు, 50% అన్నాడు. ఇక్కడ 50% అంటే 500 మీటర్ క్యూబ్ పర్ అవర్. దిస్ 51%కు 10% కదా, 10 మీటర్ పర్ అవర్ కదా. 50% మీన్స్ 500 మీటర్ పర్ అవర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఇట్ ఈస్ చేంజ్ ఫ్రమ్ 500 to 600 అన్నాడు వాల్వ్ బి. అంటే ఇనిషియల్గా దిస్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో 500 మీటర్ పర్ అవర్. సే ఇనిషియల్గా valve B is having 500 meter per hour flow rate, and this flow rate is also 500 meter per hour. At that time it maintains the set point. That means error equal to 0. Error equal to 0. So that means ఆ టైంలో కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ ఎంత, 500 అవ్వాలంటే కేపీ ఈక్వల్ టు పీ నాట్ ఈక్వల్ టు 50 ఉంటే, పీ నాట్ ఈక్వల్ 50% ఉంటేనే ఇది 500 మీటర్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. సో therefore P naught equal to 50%. When it is maintaining the 50%, it is providing 500 meter cube per hour in flow rate, and at that time this is also having 500 meter per hour. So the level is at our set point. That is the given condition. But suddenly this a load change occurs when flow through the valve B changes from 500 meter cube per hour to 600. So generally ఇది 500 600కి వెళ్ళింది అంటే ఏం కావాలి ప్రపోర్షనల్గా వీ నీడ్ టు చేంజ్ దిస్ ఆల్సో టు 600 meter per hour. So for that what it required? It required 60% output. That means new output is 60%. So that is new control output is P equal to 60%. So if you substitute that one, we are getting the error as 1%. So that is called as offset error. So actually before that, this control mode is having a special characteristic that is called as it is having 1-to-1 correspondence. The main property characteristic of this proposed control mode is it is having 1-to-1 correspondence. That means if the error is 0, it is having some 50% as per this one. If the error is some having 1%, it is having some appropriate control output error equal to like this. For this value of error, it is having 100%. So ఈ రేంజ్లో ఈ ప్రపోజల్ బ్యాండ్ రేంజ్లో ఇట్ ఈస్ హ్యావింగ్ యూనిక్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ ఫర్ ఈచ్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎర్రర్. ప్రతి ఎర్రర్కి ఒక యూనిక్ వాల్యూ ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ 1-to-1 కరెస్పాండెన్స్. బట్ ఫర్ అకార్డింగ్ టు దిస్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ యాజ్ ద లోడ్ చేంజ్ అకర్డ్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఎర్రర్ 0 ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎంత ఉంది 50% సరిపోతుంది. బట్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ లోడ్ చేంజ్ ఇట్ డస్ నాట్ sufficient. It will not sufficient. We require some another control output. So which will produce some permanent error 1%. So that is called as offset error. That is an important characteristic of proportional control mode is that it produces a permanent residual error in the operating point of control variable when a change in load occurs. This is referred to as offset. Why? Because due to this 1-to-1 correspondence, when the error is 0, it should have some P0 only. But if it is maintaining the previous example 50% only, it maintains the same error. It will not reach to your set point. So, but if it is having the property of error 0 kuda vere value of control undanukondi, it may change. But it is not possible in the proportional control mode. That's why it produces a permanent error. That is called as offset error. So this error can be overcome or we can reduce some extent by increasing the gain, but we can remove that by another controller mode called as integral controller mode. Then called as integral controller mode. That means the offset error of the proportional mode occurs because controller cannot adapt to changing external conditions. Why? Because 1-to-1 correspondence. That means for changing loads it cannot adapt to the new control output, or in other words you can say that 0 error output is a fixed value. This integral mode will eliminate the problem by allowing the controller to adapt to changing external conditions by changing the 0 output. Just this integral controller mode is the extension of floating controller mode which we have discussed in the discontinuous controller mode, whereas proportional control mode is the extension of 2-position multi-position, whereas integral control mode is extension of floating control mode. As already we know that here it does not depending upon the only unique value of error. It is as the error changes, the rate of change of control output changes. So here if you observe this one, the control output is proportional to the integral of error. That means what is the meaning of integral? It is some area covered for a particular amount of time. So this is equation for integral control mode. P of t equal to Ki into integral of 0 to t EP dt plus P of 0. Here this P of t is nothing but control output for a particular amount of time t. Ki is the integral gain. EP is the error percent of span. This P of 0 is the control action output when integral action starts. ఇంటిగ్రల్ యాక్షన్ ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అవుతుందో ఆ టైంలో ఉన్న కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ దట్ ఈస్ P of 0. ఇంతకుముందు P సఫిక్స్ 0 ఇస్ డిఫరెంట్. దట్ ఈస్ ద కంట్రోల్ అవుట్పుట్ విత్ నో ఎర్రర్, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ control output when the integral action starts. So this P of t equal to Ki integral of 0 to t EP dt plus P of 0. If you get differentiation, we can say that dP by dt equal to Ki into EP. As already told, when the error equal to 0, dP by dt equal to 0. That means that control output is staying at a particular value. It is constant. whatever it is the value when the error went to 0. So if you observe this one, when error equal to 0, dp by dt equal to 0. When as error exceeds the dp by dt, that is the rate of change of error is also exceeding with the rate k1 or k2 depending upon gain, and as the error decreases, it is also decreases. So if you observe this characteristics, up till this value error is 0. When error is 0, it is some constant. What is that constant value? That is when integral action starts. Integral action start అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఏ వాల్యూ ఉందో that is p naught, and as the error is constant with some rate, at constant rate the p1 is increasing. So in the characteristics, if you observe the characteristics, if the error is 0, the output stays fixed at a value to what it was when error went to 0. Error 0 వచ్చే ముందు ఏది వాల్యూ ఉందో అక్కడనే ఫిక్స్గా ఉంటుంది. If the error is not 0, the output will begin to increase or decrease at a rate of k% per second for every 1% of error. Okay. The next, the last mode is called derivative control mode. So generally, in the two previous cases, when the error is 0, in proportional control mode, that is constant to some p naught, or whereas in the integral control mode, that is maintained some value. Generally, we can say that there is no perfect answer, because when the error is 0, what action do you want to take? That is none. Generally, we are getting. But suppose you have a screen that shows the variation of error time as per this figure. As the time tends, it becomes at t naught, it becomes 0. What type of action you can take? So generally we can say that we don't know the answer. For that we have to anticipate. So this derivative controller, as the name itself implies, this derivative controller action responds to the rate at which error changes. The control output is proportional to the differentiation of error, or you can say that p of t is proportional to dep by dt. It responds to the rate at which the error is changing with time, or you can say simply derivative of error. So if you observe this one, what is dp by dt? It is the rate of change of error. If you know that rate, you can anticipate what is the amount of error after 10 seconds or after 1 minute. So in future only we can anticipate. Now only you can anticipate what is the future error. Depending upon that, p of t can be changed. So that's why it is called as anticipatory controller. It is also called rate action or anticipatory control, where the kd is nothing but it is the gain. It tells us how much percent to change the control output for every 1% per second rate of change of error. But the derivative control is not used alone, because it provides no output when the error is constant. When error is constant, what happens? d by dt equal to constant equal to 0. Therefore p of t equal to 0. We don't know what is the error, what is the control output, or if the error is 0 also. So that's why derivative controller cannot be used alone. So this must be used in combination with either proportional or derivative integral, or maybe both. So it cannot be used alone. So their characteristics, if you observe this one, here error is 0. Error 0 means dep by dt equal to 0. It provides no output, but for sake of drawing this characteristics, I am assuming that no output means 50%. In this diagram, actually, whenever the error equal to 0, the control provides no output. But for sake of drawing, I am assuming that this control output is 50%, nothing but no output. So up to this one, no output means 50%. Here the error is changing at this particular rate. Some rate ద్వారా change అవుతుంది. So dep by dt changing, so that p equal to some kd into dep by dt, it is having some value. And again the rate of change of error is somewhat decreased. Not error, the rate of change of error is decreased, so that the control output is also decreased. And here what is the error? Error is constant. When the error is constant also, the control output is providing no output. No output means 50%. And as the error is decreasing rate, then it becomes some value. So this is about the derivative action. So in order to gain the advantage, all these three continuous control modes, proportional, integral, derivative, they are having their own individual advantage and disadvantage. For example, proportional, it is having one-to-one correspondence. Control output is proportional to the error, but it is having disadvantage of offset error. What is integral? That may eliminate this what is called eliminates the offset error which is inherent in the proportional control mode. But it will not provide, it will stays at the previous value, and whereas for derivative controller it is having very fast response, it is having very fast speed of operation is very fast, but it cannot be used alone. So now to get the advantage of all this one, we can have some another type of mode called as composite, that is a combination. So if you observe combination, proportional integral control mode, where proportion mostly P equal to KPEP plus some P naught. But whereas in the case of PI, we can have the other term, integral term. For this integral gain, we can also multiply with some proportional gain Kp. So the equation becomes P equal to KPEP plus KPKI integral of 0 to T EP dt plus Pi of 0 is nothing but it is the integral term value when the error went, when integral action starts. Okay. So if you observe this one, when the error is 0, the control output is fixed. This part becomes 0, this part becomes 0. So P equal to this Pi of 0. When the error equal to 0, the control output is fixed at the value that the integral term had when the error went to 0. Error 0 వచ్చే ముందు ఆ ఇంటిగ్రల్ టర్మ్ ఏదైతే వాల్యూ ఉందో అక్కడ ఫిక్స్ అవుతుంది. If the error is not 0, the proportional term contributes a correction and the integral term begins to increase or decrease for the accumulated value depending upon the sign of the error. So if you observe these characteristics, initially when the error equal to 0, that is constant, some initial value P of 0, that is 50 here assume. As the error increases, maybe as per the controller proportional, it is like this. For integral, the rate of control output will change, but in composite combination we are getting like this. In the similar way, we are having some proportional derivative. So I will discuss these problems later in the next video. Here up to this, as per this Kp P equal to derivative Kd dep by dt, whereas for proportional P equal to Kpep plus P naught. So whereas this combination we are getting the both Kpep plus Kp Kd dep by dt plus P naught. When the error is 0, it becomes P naught, that is assumed as 50% here, and when it is up till that the rate of change of error is constant or 0, now it is changed. So suddenly there is change in rate of change. So for that change in rate of change of error, it produces some output, and for this proportional term it is having like this. And again, this is derivative response, sudden change is due to derivative response, and this proportional term is due to the proportional action. So whereas if you combine all this one, we are getting P equal to Kpep plus Kpki integral of 0 to T EP dt plus Kpkd dep by dt plus Pi of 0. All the three terms we are going to get all the terms. Just you go through the lecture notes also. So in the next session, I will try to discuss about the 1 or 2 problems for the PI PID controller.